everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I am King Pigley. This is Gaming Imperfectly. You guys know that already. You already know that. If you're here, you know it. Gaming Imperfectly. But if you are new to the channel, I am King Pigley, and I hope you like what you see. But all we're doing today, guys, we're having a little movie talk. What's going on with Star Wars? I want to talk about Star Wars because it's a franchise I grew up with. Having grown up with Star Wars, having dressed up as its characters for Halloween, having all the original toys, the Millennium Falcon, all the figurines that they had, all the action figures, I loved it. Alright, I loved it. And then when Return of the Jedi came out, guys, I was... Let's see, it came out in 86. So that means I was 10 years old, 9 years old, going on 10. And I was in the theater, and I remember the energy of the crowd, and I remember how amazing it was, and that music came on, and the scroll story, and everything about it. Even the flesh-eating teddy bears, the Ewoks, didn't stop me from loving the movie. It was amazing. It was amazing. And when it was done, and when the Death Star blew up, and Luke had saved Vader, and it was just such and the dancing, and the series was finally over, people in the audience applauded. There was a great cheering. People were standing. And everybody was happy and walking out of the theater, high-fiving one another because Luke had done what he had said he was going to do the whole time, that he sensed the good in Vader and changed him back at the last moment. The Emperor was defeated. The good guys won. Wow. And then came the dark times. Apparently George Lucas, for whatever reason, decided that CGI heavy was the way to go. So not only did he retouch up with CGI the old franchise, but then he made the prequels. Now, I've done movie reviews on the prequels, and you can go check out those videos. You know, because I've already talked about them and how I feel about them, and I'm not going to bring them back up. But then, again, we waited 10 years and new Star Wars. Not only that, but we're finishing the Skywalker saga. The Palpatine saga is what it should be called. But that's what we're doing. And I was ecstatic. I was so happy. And I was actually also really hopeful that there was going to be great things coming with it, you know. Well, George Lucas sold Lucasfilms to Disney, but before he left, he instilled Kathleen Kennedy to take over, and she promised to be faithful to his storyline and to honor the things that George Lucas had laid down as canon and foundation of the story. You know, Dave Filoni was there. He'd worked with George Lucas for quite some time, and so I was actually kind of relieved that people who had spent so much time with George Lucas they were continuing with the company and moving on to Disney. Man, then I saw the first film. And Force Awakening, as far as the 3 new films go, is hands down the best one of the bunch. I enjoyed it. I thought that it was a retelling of A New Hope, you know, but I enjoyed it. For the most part, I don't have many problems with Force Awakening. But man, then as you all know came The Last Jedi. Last Jedi was just such a slap in the face to all the fans that it still leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. I mean, holy crap, what a turd of a film. And all of us fans know it. All of us fans know it. If you're a fan of Star Wars at all of the franchise, things were introduced into Last Jedi and done in The Last Jedi from, you know, Leia Mary Poppins her ways back to a ship, to gas, suddenly space fuel. You know, we got to stop at Coruscant and fill up, because if we don't, you might run out of space gas. Besides, it's cheaper in Coruscant than it is Alderaan. Or wait, there is no Alderaan. I forgot. But maybe they forgot. I don't know. It could be there in this timeline, because thankfully what I've heard rumor-wise, and it's coming from Doomcock and a lot of the other YouTubers who really follow close to these media outlets and have actual connections within the Star Wars family. They know more than I do, I should say. They're in more of the know than I am, and I follow them. But according to Doomcock and a lot of other people now, Kathleen Kennedy is going to be released from Lucasfilm. Her contract will not be renewed. The Emperor will finally be gone. And I pray that this is correct. Again, social-driven bullshit that Kathleen Kennedy brought into the new Star Wars, the things that she allowed to be done to George Lucas's work, and the people who have supported it, I hope they all go. I don't think that they need to be in in Lucasfilm at all, and they do a great disservice to the fans by everything they do, every step of the way. Now, it's really interesting that there's been meetings Kathleen Kennedy supposedly went to. Now, granted, this is all rumor, guys. None of this has been hardcore, yes, this is the way it is. But apparently there was a meeting between Bob Iger, head of Disney, and the gang, or everybody in charge, basically. And Kathleen Kennedy came in, and after about an hour and a half meeting, she left and seemed very unhappy. And from rumors and sources that aren't named, so you could take it with a grain of salt, in that meeting she was told that her contract would not be renewed and that 2021 will be the last year of Kathleen Kennedy's dark reign over the Lucasfilm empire. And threatening me. And I really hope that this is true. From what I understand, she's going to move on and start basically a female empowerment type of network, which is fine. Because I believe in equal rights for women, and I'm glad that she has something to go and do, she can use her influence to forward equal rights for the sexes in her own medium. It doesn't need to be done in Star Wars, and again, I've spoken out about this before. I'm sick and tired of social agenda no matter what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care. Unless you're making a story like a biopic about Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Medgar Evers or, social justice, racial justice, equality, I don't want to see it. And then if I do, I know that that's exactly what that movie's about. What I don't want to do is go to a Star Wars movie and get a healthy dose of women rock and men suck, and also all your characters that you love, we're going to systematically kill off. Because it seems that Kathleen Kennedy and Neil Druckmann from Naughty Dog and all these other people here lately who have been taking franchise characters and beloved characters and brutally murdering them have all looked at a little bit too much Game of Thrones, if you ask me. George R.R. Martin can get away with that shit. And his books rock. Although he'll probably never finish them. So I'm kind of done with George Martin right now, too. Because the TV show just tanked on HBO because they went off of story and created their own dog shit, and then guess what? It stunk up the joint, and somebody's going, I smell dog shit, what's going on? And nobody could figure out why fans hated Season 8 of Game of Thrones so much. Season 7 was Season 6 was better, and then anything below that was kind of engaging. Well, Star Wars did the same thing. The Last of Us 2 has done the same thing. They've just cocked it up, guys. They've cocked it up. In so many ways, it's not even funny. Is that not only is Kathleen Kennedy gone, and she's taking her minions with her out of Lucasfilms, that Jon Favreau will be doing more, who does The Mandalorian, which is absolutely a fantastic show, to kind of save save Star Wars, because it is tanking right now. And not only that, but they're talking about redoing canon timeline to make the last 3 Star Wars no longer a part of George Lucas canon Star Wars. That it's going to be like an alternate dimension or alternate timeline, which is absolutely fantastic. In George Lucas timeline, Palpatine died, Rey is never born, everything's hunky-dory, and I'm great with that. I'm great with that. Because what I don't understand about Kathleen Kennedy, and even Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker, tried to warn us, when he was doing press release for this movie and stuff. He like sat around one time. I saw an interview with him when he was like, yeah, they gave me a script, and I was like, yeah, Luke is suddenly a hermit who doesn't believe in the Jedi anymore. And he was like, why? And nobody had created that story. It just was. And he's like, okay. So after the whole story that we've gotten so far, and seeing Luke, Luke never gave up. New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Luke was a very hopeful character. Optimist. Always an optimist. No. Everybody's saying it's a trap, or Vader's no good, or you can't do this, or it won't be done. Han Solo, hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster. Nobody ever believed in him, but Luke and his optimism was infectious, and even by the end of it, you got Han Solo saying, may the Force be with you. You got just the people who did not believe that the Empire could be defeated knew that the Empire could be defeated. And more importantly, Luke himself actually succeeded in his goal. He did do what he thought was right, and through that hope and optimism, he saved Darth Vader from the dark side of the Force and redeemed himself in the last moments of his life. Holy crap! Now that is a very influential character and important to the Star Wars story. It also speaks volumes about the Jedi and how the Jedi view things, which is a very optimistic view of things. All right. And then suddenly, Kathleen Kennedy just wants Mark Hamill to not even question why Luke is suddenly a hermit who believes that the Jedi need to go away, living on their island. And more importantly, not only she didn't even explain it to him, but she decided that us fans didn't need to know either, and that it wasn't important. And oh, by the way, by the end of the movie, the very first movie where Luke Skywalker has anything to do with the movie, we're going to kill him. Fantastic. Way to go, Kathleen Kennedy. Way to go, all you guys. David Fry, I think was the guy's name. I can't even remember. The director of The Last Jedi has been scrubbed from my brain because it enraged me so much that this man was given the opportunity to direct a Star Wars movie, one of the most beloved franchises on the planet. All right? And did that to one of the most beloved characters in cinema, Luke Skywalker. Again, beyond me. And Mark Hamill's not okay with it. George Lucas isn't okay with it. It is absolute fact that George Lucas has spoken out against The Last Jedi and says that he hates it. Hates it. That's a strong word from the creator of Star Wars. Come on, guys. You can't argue with that. And I understand and appreciate that there are some folks out there that absolutely adore the new movies. Oh, they're so good. They're not good. They got progressively worse as they went on. They're not good. From the Force Cloud, Palpatine, hooked to a machine, Finn being reduced to a character that just stands in the background and yells people's name. Rey! Chewie! Poe! BB-8! That's all he does for 3 freaking movies. It is terrible. It's a travesty. It's terrible. And it was just such a such a disservice to the fans, I think she said even when they were building the amusement park, down in Disney, Galaxy's Edge or whatever, and they're building it. And originally it was supposed to be like a Tatooine, where you're on Mos Eisley and you're at the cantina, and it's supposed to be those types of experiences. And she actually came in and said, nobody wants to see these old characters anymore. Why would you build a park for the 40 and I think she said 50-somethings? Well, I'm not 50, guys. I'm in my early 40s, and I love Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars, and I am in a position now with my consumer dollar to buy Star Wars stuff. See, I don't know many 12-year-olds that are rolling deep and can just go out and buy whatever they want. See, they have to ask their parents. And as far as I'm concerned, when my kids watched the Star Wars movies, they weren't even interested. It didn't even interest them, guys. That says something tremendous about this, that this series sucked. And Disney's kind of fed up with it. They just really are, which is a beautiful and wonderful thing. I mean, I am just so very, very thankful that if this turns out to be true, now it could all turn out to be a big steaming pile of crap and all rumors and nonsense. But you know, I just refuse to believe that all of this is just happening because the fan base wills it so, you know, like wishful thinking. I refuse to believe that millions of people are standing around hoping that this is true because we just, you know, need some hope. But isn't that the point of Star Wars? I mean, there's got to be some hope out there. And maybe that none of this is actually true, but because it's gained such a foothold, that so many people have heard these rumors now and that it's spreading like wildfire, that it actually will make it back to Disney, Bob Iger, whoever's in charge of this nonsense, that can just totally fire and get rid of Kathleen the Emperor Kennedy and her right hand Darth Dinglebutts and get rid of them all. Just go start your own SJW production company and let's get the Star Wars franchise back into what it was, which was fun and entertaining and engaging and thrilling and exhilarating and numerous other adjectives that are so positive, because it has literally touched billions of people's hearts and is endeared across the planet in, I think, well over 40 languages now that the movie's been translated into. Wow. And let's get back to pleasing fans. But that's all I know, guys. That's all I got. Star Wars. What do you think? Are you hearing these rumors? Do you believe these rumors? Are you hoping these rumors are true? Let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. If you haven't done it yet, smashing that like button really helps me out. Lets me know you're enjoying the content, which is super important to me. But also lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content, and that helps the channel grow. And speaking of which, if you've been here this long, you're not subscribing, please smash that subscribe button. But if you are here and you are subscribing, don't forget to click that bell if you haven't done it, guys. Get the notifications. That way you won't miss out on the next Imperfect video here on Gaming Imperfectly with your host, King Pigley, the most imperfect of hosts. And I will see you guys in the next video.